This is Dr. Andrew Fox, and I am greatly looking forward to being with you on Friday, October the 20th, just for a little under an hour, to challenge you about being ready for graduating high school and moving into your college years. Now, I am a college professor, university, seminary professor, both in this country and my home country of England. And I want to, in the session we have together, challenge you on Aristotle's theory of persuasion. You'll know it as ethos, pathos, logos. Ethos simply means your character, your ethics, your ability to persuade. Are you credible? Are you worth listening to? That's ethos. Pathos, then, is the emotion that you employ in persuading someone, or it is the imagination that you use when you're trying to persuade someone. In other words, what do you inspire me towards as I'm listening to you? And then finally, logos is actually what you are saying. Is it logical? Is there any proof or evidence in what you are trying to persuade me in? In other words, do you make sense to me? Ethos, pathos, logos, when we get it right, becomes an incredible tool for any career we're going into, especially when you're interviewing for a job, when you're interviewing for a place in college. So we're going to have some fun doing it. Here's what I want you to do. Think about this. I'm British, and I'm going to bring to you some British goodies. I'm going to bring to you a Cadbury's Dairy Milk Chocolate Bar, which you can get in this country, but American chocolate is very waxy, and I buy these in the UK when I go back home. Much better. It is the candy of heaven itself. I'm going to bring some flake bars with me. They just melt in your mouth. And then, of course, I'm going to bring some Milky Bar, which is white chocolate, which is... You've never tasted anything like this before. And finally, some Galaxy Minstrels. All British chocolate, manufactured in Britain. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to give that to a single student that can persuade me to give you these things. So you will have an opportunity in the session we have, after I've done a little bit of inspiring myself, to persuade me to give you these things. And let's see how persuasive you are. So that's your assignment, that's your task. So you might want to write this down. I'm going to ask you to practice what we're going to discuss, which is essential for the rest of your life in any career, in any relationship. Ethos is, are you worth listening to? It is to do with your character. It is to do with your credibility and your ethics. Pathos, what kind of emotion do you invoke? What kind of imagination do you inspire? In other words, what do you inspire me towards? Well, in this case, it's towards giving you all these British goodies. And then thirdly is logos. Is it logical what you're saying? Is it reasonable? Is there any proof for what you're saying? In other words, do you make sense to me? You might want to write those things down. Write out some ways that you're going to do this. I'm not asking you for paper or anything like that. And then in the class, I'm going to give each one of you an opportunity, and we'll have some fun doing it. What I can promise you is that you will remember this. It goes way beyond reading a book to actually practicing what you will be doing in the rest of your life. And here's some inspiration of me being persuasive to you. Look at the way I'm dressed. I'm a college professor. Do I dress like a college professor? What about the background behind me? What about my accent and geeky glasses? Am I combining all these things to persuade you and inspire you to come and compete against each other so one of you will walk away with these British goodies? Well, I think I am. But also consider this, that one day you'll fall in love, and you're going to have to persuade that young lady or that young man that you are worth going on a date with. Now, I got to be careful here. I'm not saying that's right now, but sometime in the future, you're going to have to persuade someone to go on a date. You're going to have to persuade someone in a job interview that you're worth picking amongst 100 candidates that have applied. And you're going to have to persuade someone when you buy anything. You go buy a used car. You go buy something where there's some haggle room in it. How are you going to persuade that person to come across to the way you're thinking and close the deal? Now, don't repeat to anyone you fall in love with some point in your life that you're closing a deal, because that's not persuasive. But I'm sure you get the gist of what I'm saying. So, looking forward to being with you. Give it some thought. I'll do a little bit of teaching myself, show you some things, and then we'll go around the room and we'll see who is the most persuasive. Looking forward to being with you. Take care until then.